What is going on, guys? So we have a very special episode today. I'm giving y'all three major secrets going into week 3 against the Seattle Seahawks, and this is going to be three keys, three things we must do to beat the Seattle Seahawks. And I do have a sheet with notes over here, but for the first one, I'm going to go and get started. I don't even need the notes for. And it's we must hold Russell Wilson to under 3 passing touchdowns. Now, he hasn't even been held to under 4 passing touchdowns yet this year. He has 9 touchdowns in 2 games. I believe he had 4 week 1, and he had 5 on Monday Night Football, or was that Sunday Night Football against the Patriots? And nobody's been able to stop him. Now, I know you're probably going to watch this and think maybe 3 is a little too low. You know, maybe if we could just hold him under 4, it's okay. But, you know, maybe we're not going to beat the Seahawks. Let's just be honest. It's not going to be easy. But we can. And I think it's not going to be easy to hold Russell Wilson to under 3 touchdowns. But we can. So that, to me, is one of the biggest keys in beating the Seahawks, is just slowing down that passing game. I'm sure Russell Wilson will be definitely a top 2 or 3 MVP candidate, if not the number 1 MVP candidate, and win the MVP by the end of the season. But right now, we need to slow down the wheels just a little bit, slow down the momentum, and maybe this will be that first game where he just struggles a little bit, right? So, number 2 is establish the run. I think Ezekiel Elliott needs to get to 100 yards for us to win this game. Teams have really struggled against Seattle, and a lot of the reason is because they kind of have to give up on the run when they're down, but not so much against the Patriots, but week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. I feel like Todd Gurley was kind of doing his thing in the first half, and you know, he's not exactly healthy, so they can't give him 30 carries a game right now anyway, but they were down 11 and they kind of gave up on the run. I've already talked about that. Ezekiel Elliott, we kind of need to use him like we used him last week. It was perfect, right? Week 2, outside of the 2 fumbles, Zeke did his thing, and we didn't abandon the run even when we were down big. So I think we need to stick to that same strategy and kind of force the run on the Seattle Seahawks. Their defensive line's a little weak, but it's definitely not bad at stopping the run. That's kind of their strength on the defensive line. Now, the third one, I'm putting don't turn the ball over and protect Dak Prescott. So, obviously, we turned the ball over way too much week 2. But when I'm talking about protecting Dak Prescott, I want to point out Bruce Irvin is out for the season, I believe. He tore his ACL or whatever. That sucks for Seattle, and it sucks for Bruce Irvin. So I feel bad for the guy. It's unfortunate. But the Cowboys should do a better job this week than we started last week. To be honest, I thought the offensive line got better throughout the game week 2. It needs to get off to a hot start, and we got to protect Dak because both opponents the Seattle Seahawks have faced this year so far have combined for 850 passing yards. Matt Ryan had 450, and Cam had right at 400. Not quite, but it's right at 850, guys. So that's an insane number of passing yards. Now, a lot of that reason is because the teams couldn't establish the run. So I'm more concerned about Zeke going out there and doing his thing than I am about Dak Prescott getting 400 yards. To be completely honest, if we could protect Dak and Zeke does his thing, then Dak will do his thing as well. Like he doesn't need to have 400 yards. He might have 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. He might have 300 yards. My point being, run first is important because they're really good at stopping the run. And also, you got guys like Poona Ford out there, and it was a Jaron Reed or whatever at defensive tackle, who are good defensive tackles at stopping the run, but they don't get much pressure up the middle. So we need to win that inside battle, and we need to be the team getting pressure in the interior on the line. Another thing I wanted to point out, Julian Edelman had like 180 yards in that game against the Patriots. Well, I guess he was playing against the Seattle Seahawks. But imagine what our receivers could do. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, they are going to feast on that on that Seattle secondary. And you know there's a bad dude out there playing safety, Jamal Adams, but I think they're going to have to blitz him a lot, blitz Bobby Wagner. Honestly, they're 2 best players on their defense by far. And those guys are definitely going to be threats. I'll talk about them more in the preview for the game that I do later this week. But they're going to be blitzed a lot because, like I said, Seattle's not going to get a lot of organic pressure, or they haven't thus far. And they don't really have the personnel to anyways. I also have a special key. And so I don't know why I didn't just put I have 4 keys. But I have 3 keys, and then I have 1 major key to defeating the Seattle Seahawks. And this is solely more the Cowboys doing them than something we have to do against Seattle. But we got to get off to a hot start, guys. We had this problem some last year under Jason Garrett, and we've definitely had it the first 2 weeks of the season, especially week 2. But even week 1, we just weren't moving the ball well on offense to start the game and really throughout the game. But, we got to come out. Defense has to get some stops, which they did week 2. But the offense just has to get more comfortable early. They just look uptight. And let's focus on things we can control. Not fumbling the ball. No drops. No stupid penalties. That kind of stuff. That, I think, will allow Dak to get comfortable, give him a clean pocket, and just pick guys apart. And, guys, I think if we do all that, or at least some of it, at least sprinkle a little some of it here and there, then we can definitely beat the Seattle Seahawks week 2 or week 3. Guys, I'm on the Falcons week 2 still, but we are now on to the Seattle Seahawks week 3. And it's going to be tough, but like I said, I think we can do it. Do me a big favor and leave me your thoughts in the comments. And go ahead and click that subscribe button for some more daily Dallas Cowboys content. So I'll have more previews coming this week for the Seattle Seahawks game. And outside of that, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hope you enjoy the video. I'm out. Peace!